back, everybody. You got Will and I Man here from the Block Runner MetaZone Rovi and Mscribe. Today, we're going to be talking about the first Bitcoin-produced digital commodity.
I like the sound of that, dude. What are you referring to?
It sounds very professional, right?
Yeah, maybe I don't like the sound of that. Just based on so it's like a raging debate, right? Whether we should, or whether NAT should be categorized as a meme or not.
Yeah.
Right. What you just said doesn't sound very memey.
Should I have said, I hope your NAT sack is fully loaded?
Damn. Yeah. Ready to drop a fat load, dude. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. That would be a better introduction, dude. To be honest.
NAT sacks, NAT up.
All right, keep trying, dude. Keep trying to find the golden lingo. You know, we'll fall on it, but that's the whole premise of NAT speak, right? It's gonna keep trying and trying and trying.
Yeah, I mean,
we find the perfect one.
Clearly, you can use it in so many ways.
I agree. I'm surprised by that, right?
Yeah.
But the more interesting topic is the fact that it's rallying so damn hard, right? And
it is.
It's starting to approach escape velocity, I think is what you said.
That's right.
Offline. So describe what escape velocity means.
It means that number's so high, and that's about it.
Well, it's more, yeah. My interpretation is you've reached some sort of like previous resistance level, and now you're like in like a kind of like a price discovery zone, right? Which means really hard to predict when that next resistance level will come. Right?
Yeah.
I'm imagining it will be somewhere around, the previous all-time high, which is
50, 60
million range.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let's talk about, for one, how likely it is to get there, and then for two, how I think we should really talk about is what needs to occur in order to accelerate this thing so you could break past that resistance.
Yeah, and we have some math to suggest price targets that are interesting.
Correct.
All right, so we're at natgmi.com, and if you want to know how to buy this, definitely just scroll down on the page. Make sure, if you don't know what NAT is, watch these two videos. Mm-hmm. And then down here are locations where you can actually buy it. Hypermall, Ordinals Wallet, TaparooSwap, SatX, and SuperX. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, just connect your wallet to each of these locations and, do your stuff. But the most notable thing here, market cap 14.8. So when we talked about it, I would say a week ago, it was like $3 million.
Yeah, it was like hovering between 2 and 3 for a while, actually.
Yeah.
Several months.
Yeah, and some other sites are reporting, 20, 25 million. So there's some discrepancies, but
yeah,
doesn't matter. It's in that range.
Yeah, which is pretty good. That's a 4 or 5x from its recent lows. So yeah. Again, it's getting a lot of people's attention and awareness. So I like to see what's happening, at least within the community itself. Oh, something that we need to plug. Let me go ahead and try and find it. A new Twitter community has formed.
Yeah.
I wasn't really too aware that there's like this new feature on Twitter where you can like form a community.
Yeah, right.
So I'm not really sure what the functionality of that is. Maybe it's like how does it work?
I don't know.
If you're a member of that community, I think you could like post things and only the members see it. So it's kind of like you can organize and coordinate within there instead of like using Telegram or Discord.
Or DMs. Yeah.
Dang, I got to find it though. Yeah, you go ahead.
Yeah. What I was going to say, so why did it go up so much? It's because the second largest Bitcoin miner has finally moved the NAT token and officially sold it on Ordinals Wallet. And so since they sold it like a 3 million market cap, whatever it was. And since then, it's been a 4 or 5x, give or take there.
Yeah, I found it.
You found it? All right. So let's continue. So Live Coin Watch is another place where you can see the chart. So this is around 40, 50, 60 million market cap. And this is when it first launched, or first started trading, I should say. And then it went down, had a little resurgence, and now it's really back up. And I think this is the resistance point. And so this is
that's what we're talking about.
Escape velocity. Yeah.
Yeah, the point between that and the previous all-time high, 50, 60 million.
Yeah.
That is the open air, essentially, where there's like, like if you're in an airplane, that's when they turn off the the seatbelt light.
Oh, right.
Because it's like easy selling, right?
Yeah.
And you don't start to hit turbulence until you get back up there.
Yeah.
Things start to get shaky and volatile.
Buckle up.
buckle back up, get out of the shitter. You know, all you, what do you call them? Flight attendants, sit your ass down, dude, before you bust your head. Stuff like that, right? So I'm expecting smooth sailing, in my opinion.
Yeah, so here we are in the last 30 days, and it's only been a week, really. 500%, give or take.
Yeah, so congratulations, guys. If you guys have been paying attention and you've been strong believers, I mean, this is your moment, really. And, yeah, that's why I really wanted to highlight the most positive outcome from all of this has been, like, the community rallying to really, like, help people who are having difficulty buying this stuff because, you know, a lot of people, this is their first time interacting with the Bitcoin ecosystem.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little different.
It's slow. Surprise.
It's a little slow. In a lot of cases, there's like an additional step than what most people are used to.
Yeah,
like
the transfer fee or the transfer transaction. Yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of new things you kind of got to like, you know, digest initially, but it's kind of the point. You want to be in the place where there's like new things happening and there's a lot of friction because that means you're early to something, right? Down the line, all those frictions will be abstracted away. This will become much more, you know, normie friendly and easier to use, meaning like, you know, more centralized exchanges will list this thing.
Yeah.
And then it's like buying anything else at that point.
Yeah, pretty much.
And by then the value is much higher, right?
Yeah, so we got the community sharing, you know, the charts here and how it's still super early, and it definitely is, and we'll show you how early. But we had the community rally so hard that NAT was trending this morning. And so it's trended before in the past, but out of nowhere, it started trending again.
Yeah, that's probably the last time it was trending was during that original blockout, right?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. So this is cool. So this is a good sign. You guys are really doing the work, right, to get the word out there.
Yeah.
So all we could do is encourage to see more of that. So Fitzy steps in to kind of like, you know, give a little bit of a perspective for people to understand what's happening, right? And Fitzy always does a good job of explaining things.
Yeah, let's see what he says.
You might not have seen this. Back in February, there was a new mechanism added to the TAP protocol, which drives NAT token, so one of the DMT TAP tokens. It drives it directly to miners for every block. So just like they get the BTC for mining a block, they also get a certain amount of DMT NAT token automatically in their wallet. It's theirs to sell should they want to, it's theirs to hodl should they want to, completely up to them. In the last 2 weeks, we had Antpool became the first mining pool to transfer theirs and sell some, which proved the concept that this is literally now an additional revenue driver for Bitcoin miners. And I think what's happened there, and I don't have the exact times, but let's just call it since that happened around 2 weeks ago, NAT has done like a 5x or something. And what that means is that if the token market cap goes higher, then the dollar amount per block for miners goes higher. And I don't have the exact numbers, but if NAT hit a $500 million market cap, so around where Dog
easy
in previous months,
can be done.
Literally with current transactions on Bitcoin, current transaction volumes, at that level of market cap for NAT, the dollar amount per block that they would be earning, the miners in NAT, would literally be more than the BTC fees that they earn. Not the block reward, but the BTC fees, and that is crazy. So it's exciting to see this happen because we predicted this would happen, we knew this was possible, and people are starting to realize that, so that's super cool.
Couldn't agree more, dude.
So that gives you a target. So there are Bitcoin fees, right, that every miner earns in every block.
Yeah.
And then there are the subsidy fees, right? So subsidies around 400 grand.
That's the total value of Bitcoin.
3.125 Bitcoin earned per block.
It's like 120 grand times 3.125, roughly 400 grand. So that's what the miners have to work with to pay their energy bills, basically.
Pay the bills, yeah. Assets under management, raise money according to your AUM. And then there are fees per transaction, right? And so each block has fees. And so that's what he's referring to. And so there's two targets, right? NAT could approach the target where the value of NAT equals the amount of fees per block on
average.
On average.
roughly 2,000 to 3,000.
Yeah, and so the crazy thing is that Bitcoin really depends on fees to really sustain the network. I mean, long term. And if fees fluctuate, people use the network and sometimes they don't. And on average, they really don't use the Bitcoin network.
Yeah.
Right. And so, but NAT, if it reaches that threshold, it is a consistent subsidy.
Correct. Yeah, something that's reliable, right?
Yeah.
Unlike the fees. Even if fees do spike because of, you know, new on-chain mechanisms like ordinals or runes or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, typically those periods of activity, they're short-lived, right? You know, they spike. You can look at the charts themselves; it reflects that they're not sustained. Which, you know, you need a sustainable revenue model to do anything like competently, right? You can't just depend on something that's that uncertain. Which, per the design, the nature of NAT emissions, you know, it is that stable, reliable, you know, incentive mechanism at this point. So
and then the lines will cross again. Yeah, right. The value of NAT per block will surpass the value of Bitcoin per block. Right. That's well into the future.
Yeah.
But eventually it will happen. Why? Because by 2140, there are 0 Bitcoin per block.
Yeah, so people are like Fitzy said, people are catching on to this narrative, becoming aware that this is a problem that needs some kind of solution, and NAT is the perfect candidate for that. But man, imagine the headlines, dude. Once we get to 500 million to $1 billion market cap, and then I think, you know, Bitcoin Magazine, what's that other big Cointelegraph? They'll probably be, you know, taking notice. Like, hey, for the first time ever, some miners are being compensated more
than Bitcoin itself,
more than the fees from the network itself by some new token called NAT. Like, hey, this is very interesting, right? And that's kind of the goal where we're trying to go. And I think it's something we can achieve, if not this year, then at least early next year, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So we'll talk about what those price targets are. So we got IBAN here. How the hell did this happen?
Yeah.
It says life really is a simulation. Here's the NAT token, and then here's the first ever photo of a single atom captured.
So Monero Nakamoto spotted this out, and as soon as I saw, I don't know. This took me aback a bit, and because there's a lot of things to this story of NAT that, you know, there's a lot of luck involved in like how NAT came to be. Yeah, a lot of like, you know, just a lot of the things in general from like you know, the initiatives we've kind of put forward in the past. Almost like a universal alignment in a lot of cases. And, you know, you hear anybody's story, like a success story, like a Jeff Bezos or a Elon Musk, people like that, they always accredit a lot of their success to like little nuggets of like just unforeseeable luck events or like coincidences that happen to fall within their, fall in their lap that made their, you know, their initiatives more successful, right? More fruitful. Yeah. Feels like this is aligned with that. Just like this, it's a weird little bug in the code. You know, whenever this NAT logo was first concocted, there was no like attempt to try and represent the formation of matter. Like, no, really.
Yeah, this is definitely like an atom. This is definitely like a cube. Yeah, this is definitely like Bitcoin in the center, and it's producing digital commodities.
Yeah, I think that was really
that's why it resonated with us.
Yeah, that was the ethos of this icon, right? Like Bitcoin's at the center of the universe, essentially. That's what DMT kind of represents. Yep. You know, Bitcoin is the substrate, the arbiter of truth, the arbiter of existence under the interpretation of DMT, right? Yeah. And these little nodes around it, that's the substance, right? Yeah. That Bitcoin is producing.
Commodities. Yeah. All right, so you can trade your TAP and NAT with 0 marketplace fees. Sounds kind of interesting. Looks like TaparooSwap, 0 fees on the marketplace. So if you're going to be buying NAT, you want to pay 0 fees.
Yeah, if you're buying anything, 0 fees is nice. Yeah. Right? Yeah, so this is a new, so TaparooSwap has changed, right? The interface now has like a marketplace. It's very clean, so we're going to look at it. But yeah, just outside of the user experience itself, you know, the fact that this is a feeless trade environment, it's pretty good.
So here's the marketplace. Here's DMT NAT.
Yeah, so anybody who's trying to, I guess, sell some of their NAT, it'd be a good idea to list some of it here because I think that's what's needed in order for this to be like a liquid trade environment, because you can see there's not much happening. Go to the weekly scale. There's probably like a few. Yeah, not enough trade activity, but all that's needed is more listing, more buying. And again, because there is no fee, this is the place to do it, right?
Mm-hmm. Right. Another place, TaparooSwap. You can actually swap Bitcoin for DMT NAT.
So it's the same platform, just a different trading mechanism.
Yeah, tool. Yeah, I think the limit here is around $300 to $500, or your slippage gets way out of bounds.
It's important to keep that in mind. So there's a little slippage widget here, like you could see it. You know, imagine, let's like simulate a swap, if you will. You know, let's say go back to the. Yeah, so you wanted to buy $500 worth of NAT.
Yeah.
How would that work?
So.
Are you connected?
No, I'm not.
That's probably why it doesn't work. Let's see. Uh-oh. Nobody saw that, right?
You're in the clear.
All right.
All right, so let's do 0.0. So let's do 0.05.
It's not working?
No, it's not working.
What the deuce?
0.05. Oh, I know why. It's because I only have
Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Okay, well, imagine you had some Bitcoin. You weren't broke like Will, dude.
Yeah.
You know.
I have only NAT, not Bitcoin.
Yeah, freaking liar, dude. Look at your shirt. You got them both, dude. You know you do. But yeah, imagine you had some Bitcoin. You're trying to acquire some NAT. You know, the higher you're trying to swap around, this little figure of slippage tends to increase because there's a lower amount of liquidity in the pool itself.
Yeah, just to show the low end, $6, right? The slippage is 0.07%.
It's like negligible.
Right.
Yeah.
So once you start, this number go up, this also number go up.
Yeah, so if you have a higher slippage tolerance, you can adjust that yourself to 5, 10, 15%, but trying to keep it under 5% just to reduce any losses. And then in light of that, per the amount of liquidity that exists in the pool itself, the current limitation at 5% is around $400, $500. So so this is a good, if you're trying to dollar cost average in, maybe every time you get a paycheck or something, you just want to put $400 in, $500 in.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
It's a good little tool to do that. But if you want a bigger order, go to Ordinal's Wallet or leverage this feeless marketplace in RooX.
Yeah. All right.
Well, let's get to talking about,
down to business.
Brass tacks, like they say, right?
That's right. So on NAT GMI, there's a listing button, right? You click on it, DMT NAT's CEX listing campaign.
Yeah.
So this has been around for a while, and it was important that we put this out there because since this is a free and fair mint, we don't have a large supply. The supply that we had to purchase just like everybody else.
Right.
There's no VC allocation. There's no KOL allocation.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah, we were out there like everyone else as this token was deployed with the DMT protocol, just selecting our blocks.
It was midnight, dude, when we were doing that.
Yeah, doing our bulk inscriptions. We were just like everyone else, and that's kind of like what makes it such a special token to begin with, right? It's a free and fair distributed token, and it blocked out within a week, which means every single block of Bitcoin was claimed. That's what distributed the initial supply of NAT to roughly 15 to 20,000 holders, and over time, as those emissions continued to grow, the holder base has grown with it. But now the miners are directly the recipients of these newly produced NAT tokens indefinitely. So
it turns out, talking to centralized exchanges, they basically said, "Where's your briefcase full of cash?"
It's true. We've talked to several of them, so it's not like a.
It has to be like a silver briefcase, one of those from the movies.
Exactly, like in Pulp Fiction, you open it, it's like glowing at you.
Yeah.
And without that, dude, doors are closed, right? We don't care how cool or special your token is. It's nice that you guys had fun during that week minting that thing.
Yeah.
But,
not here.
Yeah. Did you charge people to mint that? No, you didn't. oh, then you're fucked.
Yeah.
Right. That's
pretty much the conversation.
That's the nature of this industry, really. But still, that doesn't mean we give up, right? As a community, this token is clearly it's resonating, it's gaining its traction, and it's proving its use case. So now the next step to really accelerate this thing and get it again to true escape velocity zone where we could break through 50-60 million market cap, and we're on our way to achieving that killer headline goal where everybody's going to say there's a new
subsidy
on Bitcoin.
Yeah.
You guys need to NAT fade this, right? That's going to be the headline.
Yeah, so far we have 724 billion NAT, and so the goal here is 10 trillion, just because we want to get listed on MEXC, Gate.
Yeah.
And what else? Yeah.
Maybe OKX, KuCoin. Of course, end of the road, end game is like Binance and Coinbase, right?
Yeah.
So they're going to require some pretty, I don't even know if they're briefcases at that point. They might be like barrels.
Yeah. Barrels, yeah.
Bring in your Walter White barrel, guys.
That's right.
Yeah.
But I have contributed. There's a few others. Let's Win Together with 500 billion. I mean, that's huge.
Damn, that is a huge. How much? I mean, that's like what, like $20,000-$30,000 or something?
Yeah, like 15, 20. Yeah.
Man, what a baller.
So it's here. Well, we need to get this thing listed. That way, it gets more exposure and more access to human liquidity. And escape velocity inbound.
Yeah, so we need NAT and Bitcoin, right?
NAT and Bitcoin, correct.
Yeah, so it's also to supply more liquidity to TaparooSwap, like we said, because, $400 to $500 clips, it's okay, but we know there's people out there who are really excited about this token, and they want to clip in like much bigger chunks at a time.
10 grand.
10 grand, 20 grand, 30 grand, 50 grand.
Yep.
And so these market mechanisms like swapping, interfaces, just automated market making, all this stuff needs its ample liquidity, right? So again, we need to rally and to supply that, right?
Yeah, so here we're looking at CoinMarketCap, and there's a nifty question here. It says, can someone explain to a novice like me why NAT chart is not showing up here? I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
What would it be charting from?
Well, if it's on CoinMarketCap, I think it would be charting from SuperX.
Well, that's the problem. SuperX isn't tracked.
Or, I mean, the only way to get it on CoinMarketCap is that it has trackability.
Indexable price action, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's part of the problem, which is why we need to raise this liquidity, because it needs to be on exchanges that are on these data aggregator radars, right? Which SuperX is not for whatever reason. Ordinal's wallet is not. TaparooSwap is not.
Yeah.
Right. So these things, they're access points, but they're not industry compatible access points yet. Right. So this token needs to get on those platforms like a MEXC or whatever, simply so that they can appear in front of, retail eyeballs. Because retail looks at CoinMarketCap, they look at CoinGecko.
Yeah.
Right. And that can't have presence there until we can achieve that as a community.
Yep. I totally agree.
Simple as that.
Yeah, so we need contributions so that we get it to those locations where data can be extracted, and then we can get it on CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko. All right, so we're looking at a tweet here by the Hood Man talking about the NAT token and comparing it to Ordi and Dog. And yeah, we've had Ordi reach 4 billion market cap, Dog reach basically $1 billion. So NAT at $1 billion is within well reach, right? So definitely read this description here, and let's take a look at Tapalytics. I found this interesting. I just went to the site, and all of a sudden the market cap is 2,687 Bitcoin, which is around, this is a foreshadowing, dude. It's like 250 million market cap.
You think so?
Or more. Hold on, let me do the quick math here.
Okay. Well,
I'm curious.
Maybe we already hit our goal then. Maybe we don't need liquidity campaign. We're already there. That means the headline's already being written.
Yeah.
Bitcoin Magazine, here we come. Right? Or
yeah, that's 311 million market cap.
Okay. So
all right, congrats everybody.
That's clearly a bug, right?
Press the button.
We made it.
It's like, hooray.
I see what you mean by foreshadowing.
Yeah, it's foreshadowing, dude. This is
because that definitely didn't hit.
It's gonna happen, dude.
It's gonna hit way harder when it's like real data. You know?
When you refresh, the number goes down.
Well, when you go to NAT GMI and it says 300 million.
Yeah.
So by the way, yeah, should we add a little chart to NAT GMI? What do you guys think?
Well, that's a technical question.
It's not just like a.
That's not a momentum question.
Yeah, would that like all of a sudden amplify things? It's like a little chart, one of these squigglies on NAT GMI.
Well, who doesn't like a squiggly?
I love squigglies.
All right, so I mentioned earlier a price target. So what am I talking about? So on these two sites, they are charting the fees per block on what is this, Bitbo, and the other one is blockchain.com. And so if you look at these numbers, and you can zoom in, and let me zoom in. It's like 354 to 500 grand on average, the fees per block, right? So if you do the math, right? So 300, let's do 300,000. 300,000, divide that by 144 blocks. That's $2,000 per block, right? And so right now, the fees per block is around $15. So if you divide that by 15, then you get a 138x, right? From, let's say, 14 million market cap, right? 14 million times 138, and that's a 1.9 billion market cap.
2 billion.
Yeah,
okay.
2 billion. 2 billion market cap token.
So Fitzy's math was a little off then.
Well, I mean, this is all average numbers.
Okay.
Average.
Maybe he was looking at like a very, very empty block.
Well, there's a lot of empty blocks on Bitcoin.
There are.
So $500 on a consistent basis, it would be a lot more than up and down all the time.
True. Yeah, and even like, so 2 billion market cap is the target, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it's the target where, on average, the value that you get per block is more or equal to the value you get per Bitcoin fees.
In NAT.
In NAT, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so that's the headline chase again. I can't reemphasize that enough. And 2 billion, I mean, for some people, you might be seeing that napkin math and like, dude, you guys are fucking crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You really think you're gonna hit 2 billion market cap? Yes.
Yeah.
That's not crazy at all.
No.
We've seen plenty of other memes with absolute zero impact to like civilization in any way. It's purely just like an architected narrative.
Go back to our other videos where we talk about other memes at 6 billion, 7 billion market cap, 30, 40 billion market cap currently.
Yeah. SHIB went to 40, 50 billion last cycle. It's just, all he did was simply send like a portion of the supply to Vitalik, and then he burnt it, and then it just created this viral momentum. And now nobody even talks about SHIB anymore because it has no real purpose and no real mission. It's just something that happened in the past. Now it's still worth like 6 or 7 billion, but come on, it's not the narrative that NAT represents is truly, it's systemic.
Mm-hmm.
And it brings about a whole new nature to what it is we perceive cryptocurrencies to be, right? Specifically Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And the future of other Bitcoin-derived digital commodities, right?
Yeah.
That's quite the blue sky. Who knows what kind of industry could form around this new possibility, right?
Yeah, and 2 billion is just the beginning, right? This is 2 billion is still nothing.
Right. Go ahead and hit that slider, dude, all the way to the far right. This is my favorite activity here.
Here we go.
Boom, dude.
Now Foundry, if they hadn't sold, that's $7 billion worth of value.
Yeah, dude.
Right? And that would be number 2 on the CoinGecko market cap.
Literally everyone is pre-rich right now who's watching this video.
That's right.
So that's the real target, but it might take a decade or two. Who knows? Maybe
not. Yeah. So watch our podcast where we go into the thesis as to why a trillion makes sense.
Correct. Yeah, and why it's not that crazy.
Yeah. All right, guys, that's it for us. We talked about the NAT token. If you have any questions, leave it down below. I appreciate you for watching, and we will catch you in the next video.